welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anushka, and today I finished a book. The Stranger. Yes, this is a classic. Everybody knows The Stranger. Who doesn't know The Stranger? Who doesn't know Albert Camus? If you are really into classics, or if you even know about classics, if you are a reader, you must know Albert Camus. He is a very famous and popular author. He was. So I solely picked this book because a lot of people were recommending this book to me. Okay, and this book was constantly in my feed for a very long time, so I thought, why not to pick it up? Also, this book is only 123 pages long, so why not to just grab it and read it? I started reading this book last night, and today it's afternoon, and I finished it. This book is about basically a boy named it. This is a French literature. Okay, so this is about a boy Marceau. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Okay, his like I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but it's fine. I'm saying Marceau. It is. His name is Marceau, and he is very detached with his life, and things starts getting interesting, or I would say unsettling, when everything he does is shaped, or I would say is perceived how he is. I would say, like, everybody is judging him just because how detached he is with his life. Everything starts to get uncomfortable. So this book starts with a very interesting phase. Maman died today. And who is Maman? His mom. So my mom died today, or yesterday maybe. I don't know. I got a telegram from the home. Mother deceased. Funeral tomorrow. Faithfully yours. That doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was yesterday. So that's when you know how detached Marceau is with his own life, with his own mother's death, with his own mother's funeral. Then after, the most unsettling thing was that how detached he is with his life. First, when I just read the first paragraph of this book, it was really interesting. I was curious that how can a person be so detached, and how can this book start with the death of a narrator, of our narrator's mother? Okay, I was genuinely curious, but then it got unsettling, uncomforting, and I was suffocating while reading this book, because this person was so detached with his life, genuinely so detached, that you would not believe. I was constantly waiting for him to react normally, like we do normally, like we laugh, or we react to something, or we get angry, but I did not get any reaction at all until the very, until I guess it was page 120. Till on that page, he gave a reaction for the very first time in the book. But till that he did not. So this was so unsettling, that how a person can be so detached. I'm genuinely sorry, I'm using this word detached for like really a lot of time, but okay. So he was continuously detached from his life. He was literally just looking at death, looking at his life, looking at the people around him, and in a very strange way, and not in a normal way. It was like, it was like being this that the experience of reading this book was like being in a mind of a person completely different, completely opposite of mine. So it was unsettling. Okay, but the way he just did not grieve at his mother's death, at his mother's funeral, the way he smoked and watched movies after that, he swam in the pool, all those things he did. It was, and I was even accepting that, but after that, he was so detached that he did not even say, like, when his girlfriend was asking that, do you love me, he said it did not mean anything to me. Like, his girlfriend was proposing him to marry her, and he was like, okay, no big deal at all. And then other person, basically Marceau's friend, was trying to impress his girlfriend, and he was not offended at all. And it was so uncomforting, it was so unsettling, that, man, how can you be so detached from your own life? How can you? And then it was genuinely, then after that he basically commits a crime. uh, I'm not going to give you that existential blurb or something like that, but that would be a spoiler, okay? But then he commits a crime, and then we get to know that how people judge us, how society judges human beings, and how only one thing can shape your whole entire personality, if you know what I'm trying to say. Just because he did not grieved at his mother's funeral, everybody judged him. When he committed a crime, he was at the court. Nobody was talking about the crime. Everybody was just at up to one point that he did not grieve at his mother's funeral. Why did he not? Why did he just went and swim in the pool? Why did he watch the movies? Why did he smoke and all these kind of things? It just shows that like I don't even know how to perfectly describe this book. This book made me completely, like, this book left me completely speechless. This book left me with so many questions. I'm not saying that I understood this book completely, okay? I'm not saying that I did not completely, like, I did not understood it. I did not understand it at all. But all I am saying is that there are a lot of books which leave us with answers. There are a lot of books which leaves us with question. This book was one of them, you know to leave me with questions. Maybe someday in my life I will understand that what Albert Camus was trying to say. But it is so, I don't know how to perfectly describe this book. But I'm genuinely telling you that if you genuinely want to at least try Albert Camus, you can read The Strangers. I don't know how to rate this book. Like, what rating do I like? What what do I do with this book? It was a whole different experience, I would say. Also, the thing that genuinely surprised me was that when he was in the court being interrogated about the crime, nobody was like trying to figure out why he committed the crime or what crime he did and all these kind of things. Everybody was focused on one point, that he did not grieve at his mother's funeral properly, the way we expect him to do. And after that, just after listening to this, all the people in the court overlooked all the things he has done good, all the things that was being said good about him by Raymond and by all his friends and Mary, his girlfriend, and all. Okay, so it also shows us, maybe Albert Camus was trying to tell you that maybe that how we judge people just because the way they express themselves. Like, if a person is not expressing their emotions in the way we expect them to be, in a way we normally expect human beings to be, how we judge themselves, how we judge them. Also, it's so unsettling, and it also uncomforting that at the end of the book he even says, like, let me read it out for you, that I had only wished that there be a large crowd of spectators the day of my execution, and then they greet me with cries of hate. Even like at the end of this book, it shows that how he has accepted it, that people are not, like he just accepts this, that let people hate me, let people judge me, because only because he is not capable, or I would say he is not showing his emotions, he is not expressing his emotions, and he is not reacting the way we expect him to be. So how people judge him, and that's all. I don't know what else to say about this book. I just finished this book. There I I think that I need to just with this book sit down with this book for days, maybe for weeks, and then I will realize something something big or something like that. But I will tell you that than that. But right now, this book just left me with so many questions and so many uncertain feelings. Also, the experience of this book was really strange, I would say. It was just like I told you, that living in a mind completely opposite of mine, you know what I mean. So obviously I don't know how to perfectly rate this book, I like I usually said. But I genuinely think that everybody should read this book because there are a lot of books which you will not forget. I know that maybe I did not understood it fully. Maybe I need to sit with this book down for more days, but I would still say that I would never ever forget the story of this book because this left me completely speechless, also with so many uncertain feelings, so many uncertain questions, and I want to discover them. So for now, I can just say that you should read The Stranger by Albert Camus. It is totally accessible, it is totally approachable. You do not need to think more before reading this book. You do not need to think maybe I won't understand, or maybe this is a classic, so maybe like this has a very hard language or something like that. No, it is not at all. And it is only 123 pages. You can. So I will see you in the next video with, of course, The Physician's Daughter and the Murder on the Orient Express and the Brothers Karamazov. Till then, tata bye bye, take care, happy reading.